So I'm just saying hello. My name is Michaela. I'm one of the directors of Flourish Together. I'm here with Hanif from BASE and a room full of people who have kindly come along to be part of a bit of a focus group, and we're going to do some one-to-one interviews. There's a team of us doing all of that, I'll explain in a second, but I just pop you in the corner there. We've got some people on Zoom, many people in the room, and we'll see how the day goes. I was just saying happy International Women's Day. It's a kind of by-the-by thing for us because we support women as a force for social change 24/7, 365 days a year. It kind of feels like that, which is, you know, we're very passionate about it, which is why we do. But today we're busy working on a project where we've been brought in by Hanif and the team. He's going to describe what BASE is for anybody that's not come across it yet. I've been aware of this work evolving for some time. I did some research with a lady called Atia Chowdhury and a chap called Gary Miller some time ago, looking at the needs of people from culturally diverse backgrounds and whether they were getting appropriate support when setting up social enterprises or voluntary community organisations. We looked at how the structures are set up, how the funders are set up, who the employees of these organisations are. It probably helped inform, and it was part of that stuff that's came up with this charity so white type campaigns that are out there. You know, that aside, you know, Manchester is a very culturally diverse place. It's got a very vibrant and thriving social economy and lots of voluntary groups, social enterprises, charities, all chipping away, making change, all trying to become sustainable. And Flourish is all about supporting people to either start well or scale well. And that's what we do. So we've invited a range of women that we've worked with across different programs, or that have been part of our network, or there might be coaches on our programs, to see if we can get a breadth of perspectives really on the kinds of things that BASE want us to explore. So Hanif, do you want to just say a bit about what BASE is and what we're up to?
Well, BASE is a project that started off really with a bit of research that you were involved in. GMCBO highlighted that there was a need for supporting BAME social enterprises. So after the research was conducted, there was some needs, like a network should be formed and so forth, that came out of that research. But it also identified that we needed much more further in-depth research between all the communities. So this research that you're part of, we've got 10 different communities from BAME backgrounds, people of colour. So we've got Indian, Bengali, Pakistani, African. And what we're trying to do is say to the funders and Big Society Capital and all these support mechanisms that exist for BAME social enterprises, that you can't just lump BAME into one community. Every community's got different needs. So we, like I say, split it up into 10 different diverse groups, all from Greater Manchester. They're all doing this piece of research, and we're really happy that Flourish is part of it, because we know how much, you know, you deal with so many women, even though you're not classed as a BAME organisation. 50%
as a result of the research that we did, it suddenly struck me that, you know, we were 3 white women who were in this organisation, but at the same time, we never thought about it, it never dawned on us, and we were working at that point with about 30% of the women we were working with were from culturally diverse or more culturally diverse backgrounds, and then we've changed. So yeah, we've got a Pakistani guy, we've got Ran here, and we've also got Shabra Masood. We did a recruitment and got more than we realised we would on our board.
And we recognise that from BASE, and that's why you're on the members' council. Yeah.
Well, over the last couple of years, particularly on time to grow programmes, now 50 or more than 50% of people that come on our programmes are from culturally diverse backgrounds. So we don't do it on purpose, if you know what I mean.
No, but I recognise that from the last workshop that I came to, and that's why we picked Flourish as well, to be on the members' council as well as part of this, because I know
I'm not allowed to vote, like.
Yeah, but we'll get there. But BASE, going back to BASE, I was recruited about seven months ago. My background's in community development, so I saw BASE and I saw what was a small network. And what I said to GMCBO is that this could be much, much bigger, and the demand's much greater than just focusing on a little network that just helps BAME social enterprise. So I said, we create a platform and we invite all the existing networks and infrastructure organisations that are in Greater Manchester, in all the 10 towns, to sit on that platform. And then we thought we'll call it BASE, which is BAME Advocacy for Social Enterprise. It started out, but we've got rid of that now. It's just BASE. And it's quite exciting because when we look at how many people are involved in each network, like we've got Burn, which is the Black United Representative Network. We've got VV UK, which is Wild Voice UK. These are huge organisations and representatives with quite a lot of influence in themselves. So I'll get on one platform. That gives us a huge potential. And what we're thinking of in the future as well is to become a BAME, well, it'd be Manchester's first large BAME funding distributor. So we've even discussed those ideas with some of the funders. And then what we can do is make the application process for our communities a bit different than the application processes that exist for funding. So more culturally sensitive and so forth. So that's what BASE is in a nutshell. It's quite an exciting time because we've just handed over all the paperwork to the solicitors and we're going to become a cooperative. We looked at numerous models, company limited by guarantee and so forth, charity, and we thought we want an organisation that's member-led and member-owned. So that's why we've gone to the cooperative model. End of March, we should be incorporated, and you're all welcome to join BASE as individuals or with your own groups. Just as you say, email over at the end, or we'll get your contact details from Michaela. And it's quite a unique, I'd say it's trailblazing. It's a new entity, and I know of only one entity like it, and that's down south, but they're trying to come all the way up north, and that's called Baobab. You might have heard of them. Google them when you get back because they're massive, and they have actually become a funding body.
Like the tree.
Yeah, Baobab tree represents wisdom from Africa. Yeah, so we're working closely with those as well. So that's basically what BASE is. And the research that you're doing today will hopefully feed back into the Big Society, Connect Fund, and all these social enterprise, social investment funders, who will then hopefully take this information back and look at a different way, new methods of working with BAME communities, because the way they're working at the moment, they're acknowledging this. There's such a disparity between non-BAME communities taking up social investment and creating social enterprises in comparison to our communities. People of colour are not taking up the opportunities in social enterprise. And we just need to bridge that gap, and hopefully today you'll help us do that.
Learn a bit more. So thank you everybody for making some time to come and get involved. I think there's some space. It's always the worst, isn't it? It's not intentional. We'll take a break and get some drinks shortly, but the way the format of this was going to run is we knew it always takes a while for people to land, and I really appreciate everybody being on time and being here for sort of the start. We're here till about 1 for those of you who can stay that long, but what we've got is we'll spend 20 minutes or so either taking a few questions, or we've got some questions for you, and then in theory we've got at 11 o'clock we'll do some interviews, and at 12 o'clock we'll do some interviews. They take about 40-45 minutes, and we've been doing them for now. There's myself, there's Anna, who might give you a wave. Rana, still waking up like me. Who else is here? Karen, you know where
I'm okay to take pictures.
Please do. And then Lisa. There's a few of us rostered in to do interviews, one-to-one interviews, and I've got a makeshift list. If we need to juggle things around, we can, but we'll get to that shortly. Loos, which I didn't mention, are up the stairs, I'm afraid. There is a disabled loo, but it's still putting the doors on it, I'm afraid. So we have got screens if we need to use that, but upstairs, you will find it. There's a bit of a sign. You're in the place called the Resonance Centre. This is a social enterprise, for anyone that doesn't know, led by a lady called Juanita McGarrison. And it used to be a kitchen and bathroom place. Juanita got highly stressed running all of that, as she enjoyed it, burnt out, went back to the drawing board, found herself on a yoga retreat, and now teaches yoga and does all sorts of other wonderful things. And she had the luxury of this building at her disposal and turned it into this health and wellbeing centre. So it's worth you finding out more about this place in general. Look them up on Facebook, my best top tip, but that's where we are. Tea and coffee's over here. Help yourself to what you're not doing this because the water butt's a bit of a workout to get the water out, but it does work. Sana, who's here, where I oh, you're right in front of me, has made some fantastic cakes that we've had. Sima couldn't make it, but she was going to get Sima to bring her amaze balls, but we'll get you on those another day. So yeah, hopefully it's a fun morning as well as was kind of grilling you with these interview questions. So has anybody got any questions for Hammy and his team, or about the event itself, or anybody got any questions before? Feel free, don't feel like you can't ask a question. Well, we've got a couple of questions just to get people in the mood, I suppose, for answering these sorts of questions that we've got. The principal, and a couple of you have done or started doing these interviews already. The questions, there's a bit of background on you sort of stuff that we've pulled out as an anonymous sheet where possible. We've got questions that are around your knowledge and awareness of social enterprise and social investment. There's questions on your sort of aspirations and what you thought as a youngster before you even got into what you're doing now. There's other questions around your wider community and what their perceptions might be of social enterprise or awareness of any of this stuff. Thinking about any barriers or anything that might prevent people from getting involved in this kind of world. Here in the room today, we've got a mixture of people who have perhaps been running things for some time or have done things for a little while, alongside people who are very new to this and are just getting started. And there's no right or wrong kind of starting point for this. We're interested in everybody.
I don't know much about social investment.
That's absolutely fine, yeah. And there'll be some.
Yeah,
Most people don't, to be fair. It's like, what on earth is that? And even if you do know about it, sometimes it's not always the right option, and people can learn about it and then think it through. So there's various questions, and then interestingly, there's also some questions around this term BAME that's popped up from wherever it came. You might get into some heated debates with your interview, but they're there to be impartial and just listen and
that BAME is not something like I say with base. We've like knocked it out now. We just call base, and we refer to ourselves quite a lot as people of colour. And until that kind of comes into something what everybody agrees on, sorry,
what does it mean, base?
Base.
It has an acronym or...
Well, it had an acronym. It was BAME Advocacy for Social Enterprise, but we're dropping that acronym. We're just calling ourselves base, and that's because quite a few people have issues with BAME and stuff. So we thought, and we've become a lot more than just there for social enterprise, which we were. And once all these networks and infrastructure organisations started coming on board, we thought, well, it is a platform, might as well call it base, leave the name.
So I don't know if there's anybody camera shy or who'd rather not be on a photo. With it being International Women's Day and us having a full house, predominantly women, but very welcome to our guys in the room.
We just step out.
No, absolutely not. The point of International Women's Day is to get more men involved. I think that's where they're missing a trick. Is anybody? I was just going to do a bit of a selfie if I may, because we'll forget, won't we? I hate a selfie. Oh, it's better to make it than a selfie mode. If you'd rather not, feel free to scoot out of the way. We won't hold it against you, and I'll jump and try and work out. Hold you. There we go. Is everybody happy with that? I don't want people to be, what's the word, beholden to this picture. That doesn't look.
It's better like that.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to turn it to make it's in a funny. I don't know why it's in a.
If you do it so you lock your screen, it shouldn't turn.
Wow.
Oh, that'll be why. I'm sorted. Oh, look at all those lovely faces. Is that all right? I'll try not to squint at the camera. Somebody told me today that the very few photos of me smiling on them Everybody thinks I'm very serious. Oh, try again. Try again. Right, that'll do. There's only so many of those you can take, isn't there? So there are others of you in the room who are far better photographers than me. So if you get any pictures from today, feel free to tweet away. We are at Flourish CRC, as some of you know, or email or share if you're happy to do that. So we've got about 15 or 20 minutes before we're going to start getting into interviews and get my little list for who's doing what. But because it's fiddly with the people on Zoom, I'm going to stop recording just so I'm going to just press pause.